Hey guys, welcome back to Interesting Video on Wild Rifts. We're back with a Draven supplementary guide, and today we're going to be taking a look at the quote-unquote old-school Draven crit build. Now, of course, I have done a Draven updated complete guide some way back when, like I think at the start of like patch 5.2 or 5.2a, where we talked about the Dustblade build and why that's amazing for Draven because you want to snowball and you want to get that extra Dustblade crit. I still think that's the case. That's why this is a supplementary guide and not a updated complete guide. But you know what, if you fall behind, this build is great. Or if you just don't like the Dustblade build, what if you just like rushing crit? Well, this is the build for you. So how does it work? Well, you start with the Gluttonous Greaves for the AD and the Omnivamp to no one's surprise. And then to no one's surprise as well, Bloodthirster first item, AD, Physical Vamp, all the good stuff. And here, of course, we go for IE now. Of course, you could go for something like Collector as well. You could go like Collector into BT. But as I said, it's the old school build with the IE. I do still think IE does have value. Of course, in general, I like to go for items that's not IE because IE is kind of not really that worth it. But, on Draven, generally for snowballing, you can't afford it because you do have the goal. It does give you more AD now, which technically is a win. And, of course, extra crit damage is always good. Now, the last two items, a little bit interchangeable. Not last two items, but the next two items, a little bit interchangeable. So we have Magnetic Blaster, mainly for the additional range. Of course, you also have the attack speed. And you have Maul Reminder for the Armor Pen, as well as the Grievous Wounds. And last item is going to be some defensive option. Generally, it's going to be the Maw for countering AP. But in some games, like the game you will see later, I actually went for Sterex. Just for the extra health and shield because I wasn't playing into heavy AP and I needed a defensive item. So for the runes, generally the most cookie cutter rune is going to be Press the Attack because Draven wants the power in lane and we have already covered that in, of course, our updated complete guide. But as I said, this is kind of an old school build, and old school Draven, you do go for Lethal Tempo. Now, of course, old school Draven also goes for Conqueror. But ever since Lethal Tempo came out, I've always preferred Lethal Tempo on Draven compared to Conqueror because I always thought the extra attack speed on Draven, has served him really well, especially in those later mid to late game skirmishes and team fights. Brutal, of course, because you auto attack quite a bit. We have Giant Slayer, of course, to counter the tanks. And we have Alacrity here just for more attack speed because you already have a lot of healing here. And, of course, Bone Plating for the defensive stats. And then, of course, we have Flash together with Exhaust for the spells. Of course, this Exhaust very important because in lane you want to kill people and you want to exhaust them to make sure they can't kill you. So without further ado, let's jump into our gameplay itself. Okay, so we're jumping into the gameplay itself. Now, of course, Draven always prefers to have a very aggressive early game support. So basically for me, that's something like Alistar, Nalus, Leona, a lot of the engagers, Thresh, things like that. He doesn't generally like Enchantress too much, like he doesn't really like the Yumis and Lulus of the world, but if it's like a Janna, a Nami, or like a Seraphine, like someone with some kind of semblance of CC that can get picks for him, is a little bit better. But again, I think Engage is the best. But of course, you're not gonna get that in every game. So here we're demoing a game where we don't actually have an Enchantress. So here, I believe I actually make a mistake. I actually think I should be focusing MF together with my Seraphine, but I end up going for the Neela instead. I also think I made a mistake here. I think I should have committed to killing the Neela with the last auto attack and then died for it because I don't think that there's a huge incentive for me to blow Flash here because the Neela didn't need to Flash there. So I think if I just killed her and didn't Flash and died, I think that actually would have been better. Surprisingly enough. So here I was thinking of backing, but they're not backing and they're actually pushing in. So instead, I'm gonna go grab the fruit, and we go for round 2. MF really strong early levels, but Neela not that strong early levels. Here they already have level 2. I'm getting level 2 now. I'm trying to go and attack them. Now Neela is coming in. I'm actually stacking my Lethal Tempo here, so it's actually kind of fine. I actually missed my X catch on the minions there, so I end up doing a lot less damage than what I could have. Not amazing Draven mechanics from me, unfortunately, because I haven't played Draven in a long while, honestly. But yeah, you never kind of forget how to play him. Of course, if you play him often, you are going to be a lot more optimized and be a lot better at X catching than what I am in this video after not playing him for a long time. But we are eventually able to crash the wave, which actually allows us to go back to base and pick up just the boots. So here we actually pop the I'm not sure what you call it, but it's the thing that makes your eye look big or small. And we do get small, so we do get the ghost to run back to lane faster, which is pretty much what we wanted. No reason to go big when we're walking back to lane. So we actually catch up to Seraphine. We get back to lane just as they actually push in the lane. which is completely fine. We're just gonna grab the minions here. MF bound doing those weird angles as usual. We actually have a freeze outside of our tower. Of course, being Draven, the freeze not gonna last for very long. But for now, they do have to kind of step up to farm minions. And it is an MF support, by the way, with a Ancient Coin support item, not MF ADC. It's a Nila ADC with an MF support, which is pretty strange. Now we have no choice but to push out to maintain our stacks. They're actually going for the auto and MF, but I was kind of out of range. Now here you can see I'm committing onto the MF this time, who's definitely squishier. And yeah, we actually hit the E to actually push the Nila out of her dash. And I actually think we again make another mistake, which I think if we kept running, we would have stood a better chance than stopping it to auto-attack the Nila, because we couldn't kill her anyway, and she was just waiting for a Q cooldown. So there is a world where I think if we kept running, she might have not been able to hit us, but then again, I'm not completely sure. But either way, we end up trading 1 for 1, and we got the kill first, which basically meant that we get the cash-in. So of course, the cash-in is what really matters here, and it is giving us a little bit of a lead. Now, MF for some reason is greeting over this Hextech toolkit, and because of that, I'm literally just gonna run her down. Like, look at that, just gonna kill her outright. Because obviously, you can't just stand there and take the toolkit while tanking Draven's damage. I'm really not sure what she's thinking. Nila wasn't even there, so it's just a 1v1. And like, no one wins 1v1 against Draven in the early levels, except maybe Kalista. And ironically enough, maybe Ezreal with press the attack, because Ezreal, like, early levels is so insane. Now, Nila comes in here with the ulti, pops the W to block the damage, which is a really good trait by her, but she did use her ulti for the trait, so that's a little bit questionable as well. But here we are, slightly below half health. We're life-stealing using our boots, and now we're just going to auto-attack down the Nila. Beautiful out from the Seraphine with the electrocute, allows us to finish her off with our ulti, but MF kind of catches us a little bit at a I wouldn't call it a choke point, but catches us against the wall, and we're not really able to avoid that MF damage. Unfortunately, we do end up going down to the Misfortune in the lane, and yeah, not too amazing here. So here, Seraphine trying to, I'm not quite sure what she's trying to do, but let's take a look at mid lane. So mid lane, everyone's 1 HP. Kindred dies and Yone dies, and my team comes in on top, kills both of them, and both of them survive. Love to see it. Love to see it when things go our way. So here, again, the minion wave is kind of crashed all the way in. I'm just going to pick up the Hextech toolkit. I get the Dematerializer, which I don't really need right now because I'm not really trying to shove out. I'm kind of just waiting for them to come back to lane, and hoping that they overextend to get these minions. But of course, my minion wave is slowly going to push out. Here I'm trying to get some auto onto them, but I'm not quite able to reach. So instead I'm just going to push out the minion wave as I'm allowing it to slow push, as you can see here. Kindred is making her way down, which we saw her briefly on the vision, so we do know that. However, Nila is not here, and here again, beautiful ult by the Seraphine catches both of them, and we're able to instantly kill Kindred. And then we also kill Misfortune. Of course, we know that Kindred doesn't have ult because she just used it in the mid lane when she died right there, so we definitely know that. Yone making his way down, or maybe just picking up the fruit actually. But here we actually pick up our Bloodthirster as well as double longsword. Of course, going to build into IE. So we are starting to snowball. We're 5 and 2. Of course, you could argue going for Duskblade in this game is probably going to be better, and I would not argue with you there. But as I say, we're trying for that old school lethal tempo and just pure crit with IE kind of build, which, as I said, it still works, but it's not the best build, not the most optimal build in my personal opinion. We have the Mimics here, we're going to pick them up. And now we can see MF in mid, and we can see Kindred in the Dragon area. I'm just trying to shove in to get priority in the bot lane, also just to prop the Mimics onto the tower. We can see we get a tower plate from that. One more artist and get us another, so we get 2 tower plates, which is equivalent to a kill. And Kindred, as well as MF, is making a play on Viego inside our jungle, so Nila here is kind of left unattended to her own devices. And I'm just going to start whacking the tower. Like, here I'm just getting tower plates for free. Nila cannot defend. Look at that one auto, nearly instantly kills her right there. Picking up the toolkit again. Launching the Spooky Ghost. Kindred is kind of almost dead here. Nice ulti. I'm just going to quickly kill the Yone here. MF's not getting run down. Flash forward, just going to kill her. And of course, Kindred was killed by my team. And here we have the Nila flashing in panic because I'm running her down. Honestly, I think it'll be a little bit hard to catch up to her there, but I'll take her flash any day of the week, no problem. And now we're going to go back to just shoving in the wave. Now we're getting so much gold from these kills as well as, you know, the tower plates, everything. Next wave is here as well. And we're just going to quickly evaporate the entire wave. And we're going to see if we can grab a cheeky plate before we actually back. I think that auto should do it. Yeah, we do get the plate, we get the X catch as well. And now we're going to hightail it out of there and go for a reset. Maybe, hopefully, might be able to finish off our IE. I think we probably have enough gold with the cash-ins, with the tower plates, as well as the kills. So yeah, we do get the IE completion. And we even have enough for an extra dagger. But I actually think in this game, I actually think that going for maybe the Maul Reminder would be a bit better, because we do have a lot of healing. We have Neela healing, we have Yone healing, we also have Mundo healing, so maybe going for that. Mundo is also pretty tanky, so I think maybe going for that early might be better as well. But you know, we'll have to see how it goes. So the tower is so low, we kind of just want to force the tower out ideally. So here you can see we're shoving, and one auto is enough to one-shot the minion. So that kind of tells you how far we are at the moment. We're looking for an auto onto Neela, which we do get. If we had Dustblade there, that auto would do so much more damage. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but they have a little bit too good of a wave clear. Unfortunately for them, Katarina comes in from the side for the assassination and gets both of them. She has that Infinity Orb. So when they get low, you know, they are going to evaporate. So here, Seraphine goes mid to hell while I just auto this tower once or twice for the kill. 2 times is going to do it. And we grab the tower. Now we can rotate to mid as well, which is the last remaining tier 1 tower alive. Both side lane tier 1s have fallen. And we just want to basically grab this mid lane one as well. So here, not too much my team can do with them under the tower. We can just grab the last few minions and grab the tower as well. MF ult comes in, but it's not really going to do very much. I'm getting a free auto onto the window, and here I'm going to reset. I can of course grab some item components. I will actually be going for, as I mentioned, going for the anti-heal component first, because I do think that the anti-heal is pretty good value in this match. A lot of things we can use the anti-heal on, which is exactly what we're doing here. And we're going to hit back bot because we don't want Neela to get an objective bounty for free. Also, we can run her down if she you know, makes a mistake, which she doesn't. So instead, we're going to be happy with just grabbing the entire 1.5 waves or so here. And now a play is happening in mid. Viego goes on a rampage. Neela is kind of running into my team. Not very advisable for her. I'm just going to auto the blue buff just to keep my stacks up. My splitting axe stacks, that is. And here, you know, we're just going to grab this enemy blue buff. Or Seraphine grabs it rather, which is fine as well, because Seraphine does use a lot of mana and benefits a lot from ability haste. And on the way down, we spot the Skull Crab. We're going to grab that, and we're going to go back to farming the bot. Now, unfortunately, Katarina is not here with us, contesting our wave, which is not too hot. That's not. We're just going to grab the wave. Katarina actually gives it to us, leaves it to us. Amazing. And yeah, we see the enemy team overloading the top side with 4 people. So what are we going to do here? We're going to take their bot side jungle, and we're going to take their bot side tower. So unfortunately, a minion wave just comes in here, so I'm going to have to clear the minion wave before I can go for the tower, but that's exactly what I'm doing here. Clear the minion wave, and I'm going to start whacking their tower. MF comes here to defend, and I was trying to ignore her and get the tower, but she does a little bit too much damage, so I actually have to exhaust her and actually have to fight her. And she actually kills me 1v1, which I was really surprised by, but I looked at the replay as to how like a 1 and 6 MF with like less than 7k gold at that point is able to kill a Draven who has over 5,000 gold more than her. Like, it made no sense to me at all. So I went to check it out how it happened. Well, basically I made a mistake there, which is I stood in the MFE for a little bit too long, because basically before the fight started there was a full stack MF passive on me, which of course is going to make her do an extra 8% damage on me. And then basically before I started autoing her, she got in like an auto and a Q on me, which double stacked the press the attack. So by the time I was actually fighting, I already had the extra 8% damage of the MF passive, and then she autoed me one last time for the extra 8% damage onto the press the attack as well. So that's when I really was in trouble, because obviously at that point I'm taking so much extra damage for free. So really I just kind of made a mistake there. If I started attacking MF immediately, no way she kills me. Like, she's gonna get destroyed. But I actually make a mistake there. I give her my shutdown. I actually think that this is a key turning point in the match, because MF actually gets a huge shutdown, actually starts to get fed. She now has 8k gold, which is actually more than Katarina, more than Seraphine, and you know, kind of catching up to Renekton, which is of course not where we want to be. So now, You know, a lot of shenanigans happening at the top side. I'm pretty much just gonna ignore it. I'm gonna grab the red buff for myself. Renekton is grabbing the waves at bot lane. So here, since no one is actually here, I'm just gonna go for this dragon. Now, bot lane, enemy bot lane is at top. Not sure where the Kindred is, but if she comes, I'm gonna turn on her and I'm probably gonna kill her. Just gonna stop the dragon and turn on her, but obviously she just leaves me alone, and I'm just gonna grab the dragon for myself. You know, carrying out the dragon stack. You know, it is Infernal Soul, so I'm very interested in getting the soul. So I want this dragon. We spot Kindred there. We don't quite care about her. Yeah, she is like 2, 4, and 2. She's not gonna be able to kill us. We can easily kill her. Now MF is taking a long time to die, but eventually does go down to Katarina. It's hitting up in case my help was needed, which I really think it wasn't, but not like I have anything better to do with my time, because I am playing the reset, which I do here. And I actually get the stasis here, because I think that in this match, QSS doesn't really help all that much, because yeah, you can QSS like Yone and Nila out, but it's really not that helpful. I think like if I stasis the Yone out, Nila out, or MF out for that matter, I think it would be so much better. So stasis is, you know, around the rare times that stasis is better than QSS, although I normally think QSS is better. Here you can see we basically have enough AD to one-shot any minion other than the cannon minion itself. And yeah, we're also kind of almost able to one-shot that Krug. A little bit more like AD is going to do it. But yeah, not quite. So here just continuing our farm. Not too much is really happening on the map here. Baron is of course up, but we are on the wrong side. Now our whole team is on the wrong side of the map here, which is horrible macro because you know, if the enemy team decides to go for Baron here, you know, we're going to lose Baron. But thankfully the whole enemy team is actually here, and they're trying to pick a fight with us. So here I get 2 huge autos onto the Kindred, and you know, we have a Mundo in front of me. I'm full stacking my lethal tempo at this point, so I'm attacking really quickly. I'm kiting back though. Nice ult comes in from Seraphine. I ult down the Mundo. He dies. Again, similar ult, Seraphine ult into Draven ult combo. Now Yone is coming in. I still have a full stack lethal tempo. I'm taking a bunch too much damage, so I'm going to flash back, pick up this fruit here, and I still want to kind of go back in. My lethal tempo is falling off soon, and it has just fallen off, but I'm going to be able to get rid of this Yone, who for some reason did not run away when he saw me. I think he thought he could survive or something, I'm not sure. But he goes down. I basically lifesteal off of just attacking him. I'm lifestealing off of the minions, and I'm basically almost back to full health now. MF somehow has her ult again. Like, she just ulted. I'm not sure how low that MF ult cooldown is, because I was pretty sure she wouldn't have it. But here I actually turn, which is actually a mistake because my team is not ready to turn with me. I think it's fine if my team actually turns with me. But I end up not only dying, but also getting my team killed. And again, I think MF got the kill. So you can see MF is now 13k gold, which is now a huge problem because she now has more gold than anyone else in the game other than me. I still have 3k gold up on her, but she has more gold than anyone in my team. She has 3 full lethality items completed together with lethality boots, and my team is really squishy. We're all squishies other than Renekton, who is building fighter. But we're all squishy, so MF is actually a problem because she can pretty easily kill people on my team, and of course, you know, that's not good news. So we do want to prioritize killing her, you know, if we can in fights, which is definitely what we're gonna look out to do. I think I kill her in like 3 autos probably, so I definitely want to look to kill her. Now at this point I have full build in terms of crit. I'm working towards my Steric's Gauge at this point, because again, there's pretty much no AP on the enemy team, other than of course Yone does a little bit of AP. Yeah, but other than that, not really much AP. So I'm building Steric's just for the extra shield, the extra, you know, base AD, the extra health, you know, things like that. And yeah, so here we're kind of almost there, almost having the Steric's shield. My team is entering the enemy team jungle, stealing their blue buff. I actually try to help with that auto, but my auto does insane amounts of damage. I end up taking the blue buff for myself. I mean, blue buff on Draven is fine. You can spam your W, I guess. So that's pretty alright. Nila goes in with the ult, barely does any damage, eats a Seraphine ult for her troubles. And yeah, you can see there, I managed to finally focus the MF on the back line. And now Mundo has no damage sources left. We get rid of him. 3 of them are dead. Actually, combined with the Yone, who is already dead beforehand, it's actually 4 of them are dead. Now only Kindred and Yone are alive. We're turning on to the Baron, and we're just going to start whacking it. So now, you can see that in my team, everyone is basically fed to a decent extent. Like, Karina's pretty fed, so is Viego. Obviously, I'm very fed. And we have a lot of value from the Seraphine. So probably, I would say Renekton should take the TX, but then Renekton is like the main front line, so then we're gonna have no front line. So really in this team, there's no one that's really that good to take the TX, and you can see we basically all ignore the TX. Now I actually think that there are situations that just ignoring the TX is actually better than taking the TX, because like I said, you lose a team member who is in the TX. Now here, this is gonna be solo for my team, so I'm gonna solo focus the dragon again. I'm actually getting the dragon for my team. Somehow I'm being the jungler now. I have two jungles. Not two jungles. I've taken two objectives by myself at this point. And yeah, Viego, like, he's having none of it. He's not riding the TX. Neither would I. So here you can see I'm fishing for answers. Look, that one auto did half of Kindred's health. Like, if you look at that, it did more than half her health. So I'm just fishing for those, rapid fire cannon autos. I'm actually now full build. I have the Sterix with me in the inventory now, and I'm just looking to just get those autos in. So I'm here, I'm looking, I'm getting stacked on my MF again. That's not too hot. I'm able to one-shot the tower here, basically. And now I'm looking for a ward here, because we're playing on top and mid, so I'm getting this ward here to spot enemy rotations. One, boom! One auto does like half of Kindred's health again. And yeah, they don't really stand a chance. Now, they're all going topside, and yeah, it's time for us to go in. Unfortunately, we only really catch out Mundo, which is not very ideal. Seraphine ult gets a nice catch. I'm gonna ult down, killing the MF with the ult very crucially. As we know, MF is the fed member on the enemy team. We're running out of minions, so my team is not really able to do very much here. I'm gonna go mid, get the mid tower, like so. And top wave is coming in as well. I'm trying to push in the top wave, but a fight kind of breaks out. Like, I don't know what this Neela is doing. We two-shot her at this point. Full build, we just two-shot the Neela. Yikes. Elder is up, but I honestly don't think we need Elder to end the game at this point. I think we just need to wait for this wave to push in, just grab this tower, and we can pretty much force the end of the game. I mean, Yone and Mundo is not going to be able to stop us from ending. I'm just evaporating the wave here, just focusing the Nexus. Mundo tries to stop me, but Russ, what's he going to do? Yeah, let's just end the game. Hit the Nexus is going to end it. And that's going to be it, guys. So I'm going to leave you guys with the stats as usual. Thank you guys so much for watching the video, and goodbye.